Welcome back to Benin Naija TV, where you get the latest gist and entertainment in Edo State and Nigeria. Well, my country people, in this our channel, we dey talk am for here with pidgin English. If now today be the first time when you dey again the pass the pose for our channel, make you help us subscribe and share. Thanks. My country people, we don't come back again. We don't bring another ogbonge matter. When they share, when they happen on Edo Sabai Speaks concerning the Ogiamien and our Oba of Bini Kingdom, our lovely brother Paitro can give a little bit advice for those both home and in the diaspora concerning the issue of Ogiamien. And my country people, me as a Bini guy, and I also have my contribution as well concerning the Ogiamien and our Oba of Bini Kingdom. Yes, my country people, as you can see, we cannot compel Ogiamien with Oba, and Ogiamien does not have the power to become a second king in Benin Kingdom. My country people, you can think back since you that is looking me now, since we are born, did you ever in your history seen that there is another king, Oba of Bini, in Benin Kingdom in Edo State? No. That is impossible. We are not like the Igbos. Our Oba is not being appointed. Our Oba we cannot just vote for our Oba. He's not a voted Oba. Our Oba is not like the Igbos, like the Igwe, no. Our Oba in Benin Kingdom is in heritage. And Oba Seki does not have the right to install another Oba in Benin Kingdom. That is impossible. I normally listen to people concerning the issue. People are talking about it. Oba Seki do this, Oba Seki do this. Oba Seki is giving Arisco the power to become the second Oba in Benin Kingdom. That is impossible. Arisco does not have the power to become Oba. The history is there. This is not the first time that people are taking Oba to court. It has happened during the our past Oba Erediawa. Some people also did it as well, but they did not win it. It's impossible. Our Oba, we all are the children of our Oba of Bini Kingdom. An Oba have the right to give any title to anybody. So that is it. And you cannot compel Oba Seki with our Oba. Oba Seki will come and go. People voted Oba Seki there, but we did not voted our Oba there. That is big difference. Oba Seki will go, our Oba will also remain there. So how will I compare it so that you should get me right? It's just like our Jehovah God and his angel. That is how Oba Seki with Oba is. So concerning the Ogiamien issue, Ogiamien is just a title. It's also a heritage. So if your father, for example, is Ogiamien, when your father is late, the senior son will inherit it. That is it. That is how Ogiamien is. Before installing the Ogiamien there, without the permission of our Oba, nobody can install Ogiamien. Ogiamien is just like a chief. Although he's an inheritage, he's just like a chief in Benin Kingdom. It's a title. But without Oba, nobody can install Ogiamien. You can go to anywhere. You can take it to any court. Oba holds the title of Ogiamien. It's just like Nwangwe. It's just like Heibo. Like any other chief. It's just like Iyaza, Iyase. There are many chiefs. That is how Ogiamien is. It's just like, how will I say, the Eniges. If you have a Nogie in your community, without our Oba, they cannot install, without the permission of our Oba, they cannot install the Enogie in your community. Oba holds all the old title in Benin Kingdom. We all are under of our Oba. That is it. So I just want to give a little bit of my contribution concerning the issue of Ogiamien and our Oba of Benin Kingdom. You people try and research very well about the issue of Ogiamien and Oba of Benin. But never in history that there is two Oba in Benin Kingdom. Impossible. And nobody can do it. Nobody. That is it. Thank you very much for watching me. And if it is today you are coming across our channel, please help us to share these broadcasts. Help us to share these broadcasts and also like. Thanks.
And I refuse to speak on this issue, the saga of the judgment. So it's not even a judgment. The case struck out from the court. Okay, let's use it that way. It was not a judgment. And most Benins are now capitalizing on the judge and the Obaseki himself, saying that the Edo State government want to install another king in Edo State or in Benin City. Anyway, it's a pity that sometimes most of us who understand the English language very well, or who understand the dynamic of the tradition of Benin people or the Edo people, or who understand history, back days history. You see, this saga did not start today. This saga did not even start before. It started before I was born. Okay, most of these stories are very, very, very common in the air now because of the importance of communications. This is the most reason why we are all now moving scattered about this news, right? And there was a time too, if you remember, I'm coming to the point, I just want to give you some preambles, right, about things that are not supposed to be even be publicizing in social media or carry as if it's very important. Not that it's not important, but there are issues that can be resolved in just 48 hours. Okay, so if the person in position deeming necessary to be quiet for a while, he knows what he's doing. Anyway, let me go straight to the point. At a time when Isekure, you people know who I'm talking about, Isekure in September Road now, came out to make one famous statement during the election of Oyegu and Lucky Igbinedion, when he lost to Lucky Igbinedion. Sorry, when Lucky Igbinedion lost to Oyegu. You see, I don't know why we Benins are always like that. When they hate Lucky Benedion later, they told us that it's not a Benin man, that is from Isha. When they hate Oyebu, the Benin changed it and said Oyebu is not a Benin man, that is from Yoruba. Okay, these are facts. Most of you are young folks. You can't remember what I'm talking about now. You don't even know what I'm talking about now. Some of you were not even born at that time when Oyebu was contesting as a governor. Now, 8 o'clock news. Immediately after 8 o'clock news wanted to finish, this is a good name. Not be you will find the talk of the one where they mode the fancy house around, you know. I'll still tell you the story. So there's nothing that is hidden in the palace, in the Benin kingdom that we've not known before. And there's no law in Benin tradition that is constant. This is a gospel truth. But when it comes to exist, it will remain constant. But there are series of years that different obas come to power and modernize the tradition too, refine it in their best of knowledge. Okay, I will mention things that were not existing years in memorial that we now do now as festivals in Benin. But I might not be able to go into details about it because I want to use one stone to kill two birds. Okay, now let me go straight to the point. Isekure came out and announced. Look at it. At that time, Chief Gabriel Osawari Benedion was in a long-held battle with our palace. With the monarch, let me you specify this issue very clear now. For those of you who have not listened to His Royal Highness, Miss Soles Imperial Peace, Radio Hour, speaking about this challenge, how many times Gabriel went to overseas and declared himself king over the existing king in Benin. Even some chiefs in the palace there pay homages to Igbinedion. Benedion normally do Igwe festival with some chiefs in his own house, created a throne in his house in Iyama. The Benins were there. Everybody was around. We all know what was going on. And he's still the Esama of Benin tomorrow. Okay. I'm coming. I will explain certain things to you. I'm not encouraging anybody disrespecting the monarch. Let me just tell you now straight. I know that on Saturday speak English and I don't say it, don't start again. Now the truth and the talk. Then, so when I came out in the evening 8 o'clock, I was aware of what I'm telling you now. I'm not in primary school, okay? I've already passed out, I think, what's that secondary school? No, what's that secondary school? That was 1989, I guess so. 89, I guess so. I've forgotten exactly. It should be around 89. That if you do no so more, on you back. Nege rao vote no gyomba. Chief Osakari said, God bless you, my sister. You understand me? He made a statement that anybody that knows that is loyal to the palace should open its eyes when voting tomorrow. They should not vote for those who are raising shoulders with the palace or who they claim to be Ogiamien, because it's very common in postmart these days now. All chiefs, anybody, all these people are related, not related to palace. Anybody does anything, say his mind, whether it is not positive to the other side, they'll say Ogiamien. This was a statement made by Chief Musagara Isekure in a television house, NTA Benin. Ask anybody, if you're not born or you were young, ask your father. I listened to the news. That time I'm already a boy. Okay. So, what happened was that after that statement in that 8 o'clock news, you see, the news did not stop there. House to house. Why vote in Ogiamien? Chief Gabriel Igbinedion. The Benins, though the Oba did not come out and proclaim officially, but a lot of things the Oba just almost suspended his chief chaplaincy and drove him out of the palace, not even welcoming him in the palace any longer ago. Okay, but he was the one that led the palace, was operating on his own authority in the Yama there, very close to the palace there. Ebomare, Wamatalo, because there was no telecommunication at that time. I'm coming back to where I'm going now. So, in the next morning when we were in the queue to vote, Oyegu election, I'm talking to you now. I should be around 19 or 20 years at that time. I don't exactly remember, but very young fools, you know. Why I vote in Ogiamien? So people just mention the name. Ogiamien, the 140,000 votes that we used to change the narratives was gotten from Oredo. At that time, it was not existing. Ere Oyegu, Yangwine Igbinedion. The Benin's hear the call of Isekure. Am I aware? A voice like Melowa. Anyway, why this issue is bigger than you people, you understand me? Okay, so there's one question I want to ask. Arisco, for a start, there are so many issues that surround this issue. First, let me clear the part of the judge. Why Mebe Bouviere? The case was taken to court by who? Oshomole. And has been trading in court for so many years. It arose again in 2015. Okay, what is this man trying these things for? Why is this man doing what he's doing? For a start, Arisco is not even a family directly to the Ogiamien family. The mother is the family of Ogiamien. By tradition, he has no title there. Because he is one of the richest person there in that family now. They know through him they will get some victory or get some respect if he's giving that title to. That title has never one day, it was not formed or formulated. But the difference now is that Arisco want to go beyond what is known as existing again for the past 100 years. Yes, there was a treaty in Okpara. Yes, there was an agreement reached by him, but that is the gospel truth. But the power was that. It's just that people narrating Obaseki now. Say that he's not loyal to the party, blah, 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 blah. Somebody now told me that, or told the answer. Let's assume you so beneath to anybody, whatever. I'm not interested about that, but history did not tell us so like that. So the formality they do in that bridge there in Upala does not mean that Oba Of Bini cannot be crowned as Oba Of Bini. Okay. Ogiamien, you say you are the owner of Benin, but if you see Sakomba Road by the left, your palace is not even as big as my mother's house in Cemetery. So let us understand what really happened during the Canadera, right from time immemorial, when the king in Ife, who said he was too old, who's supposed to be, which they call it Izodua, which is called Oduduwa in Yoruba, who was supposed to come to the crown as Benin king, as ancestors wanted it, he was too old. Then he says he said his son. He said his son. That his son came to Benin, and the Benin rejected that son and said, "Look, I am your Baba do Ogiamien do." Well, people are forgetting all those things. Then after he was some chiefs, you know, go on a row and the rest, they apologize this guy. Say, look, this is the true owner of the throne. If I marry an Hausa woman, I bring it to Salute tomorrow, for example, and he get picking for me. Or money I will wear if you want to greet me. Not be like go greet me. He go greet me like I did the Baba. No. So what is the essence of saying that the Benin are from the Yoruba? If a Benin man marry a Yoruba woman and give birth to him, Oba has not stopped even the Oba family to marry outside Benin Kingdom. So, no, sorry, the Benin's, I mean. So we know what we're talking about. Now, how does this one mean that we are from Yoruba? That is one point. Now, when this guy came away against him, at the time he said that anybody that is not born in Benin City, not raised in Benin City, cannot rule Benin. He wanted to leave. But before he went, he was harbored in the palace of Ogego. Go and read your history. And he impregnated one of his daughter, who he named Owomika when they played the Ahwe, which was converted to be Eweka the first. Never a time was anybody, any other royal family inherited that position in Benin Kingdom. Yes, there was a vacuum in kingship in Benin Kingdom during the time that the Galadera ran away, saved by the slaves who were asked to slaughter him, because the wife of the Ogiso that time went to play oracle and wanted his son to be the Ogiso, told the king that This boy were directed by the gods to be sacrificed for the gods. As they were coming back from the oracle, he planned against those two Obama, two slaves that were sent with her to the oracle. And those one disagreed with her. I don't want to come with names today. I will come and lecture on these issues one day. I just using it to come back to put a stop to this nonsense of social media. Hey, my parents social media. So as they were coming, he approached these two slaves that were sent with her. People hear the oracle. It is not this way I want it to be. I want us to tell the king that this man has to be assassinated and to have to be sacrificed for the sacrifice. They disagree with her. You know what she said? He said, if they don't agree with me, I will tell the Oba or the king that you both try to molest me. What a mumeyaga in a do language. For those of you who don't know, that's why I use that first of all, molest. Attempt entry one big house. You know what I mean? Because we're in the social media, I don't want to start using vogue wells or F wells. You understand? So, when those slaves heard what she said, and if that woman tell the palace chiefs or tell the Oba of Bini that these people attempted to in any way go close to me, they will cut their neck without allowing them to defend themselves. That was it. That's how it happened. That's how it functions in Benin Kingdom. So they agreed with this woman. And they also sent them to go and sacrifice or kill this Ikaladina in the forest. When they got there, they allowed this man to run away and use their cutlass to kill an animal stains with his blood. But after some time, don't forget, there was also a time when this kingship was not a heredity in Benin. These are facts that most you guys don't know. There are a lot of chiefs in Benin who were struggling to become the Oba at that period. The Ogiamien was among. Don't forget that Uzamaninho Udenoe is including this Ogiamien many years ago. Okay, so, and this is not the first time chiefs have rebelled against the Oba. Did you hear the story of Oba Of Bini? What leads to is Benin rejecting Oba Of Bini. Don't forget also too that Ewale the Great, Ogidiga, the person when he follow comes, when he recarnate from, has challenges more than this. Wamaya wata then where Ewale we get bono ya we do say yen. Mama motel any ya. Unwe wamaya ode. We nyekpa ewe gage ne do ha mi yen. We bono yen we da say yen. His time was always troublesome with his subjects. It's not today. And he was able to conquer so many things. So many obstacles in his days. So he can also conquer any other battle right now. Now, let's go straight to the point. The Ewa story I was telling you about. There was a lady in one village that sells goats in one village. That the chief, someone I get so, was interested about this girl. He continued telling his mom, look, whoever, if you know you love me, go and see my parents and pay a bride price, sorry. Ezemo continued delaying, playing kick-packy game. You are just like a man that come to your in-laws, propose in-laws house for a proposal to their daughter. When you get to the place, you continue playing draft outside or follow them to chop and the yam. They say, come and eat, you wash and you start to the chop. Somebody else came 30 minutes later before you, after you, went straight to his topic while he was in the house. And as they were giving the girl out, you say, no, let me be comfort before. But you came first and started eating. So Ezemo did not do the right thing. When Oba Ewa visited that village, he sighted that girl, honored by Igbo. That is where the trouble started. When I will listen to that music very well. But I'm telling you what led to Edo rejecting Ewakbe at that time. The mother was from Ikoka. The mother was from Ikoka. Ezemo now started planning coup against the palace, the monarch. Because he was very influential, very rich chief. There are a lot of chiefs that were even almost richer than the palace at that time. Because even when you pay homage to the palace at that time, some people that came from Obuluku, Asian land, and the rest people, they still go to pay homage to Ezomo. Okay, at that time, most chiefs were very powerful. They have their own similar palace too. Have you not forgotten one of those chiefs who came? Was in a row? I've forgotten the chief, or yes, I don't know. Who said the wife argued with him in his palace? He tied the wife and put a stick on her mouth. Come to the palace to take permission from the Oba Of Bini before he can slay her to the gods. On our way trekking along the Ugai, they call it, the long road inside the palace to see the monarch, he had some wives, some subjects, insulting the royal father. Wives. At that time, the Obas can marry up to 100 wives. Most of them are not visited in 6 months. Most of them they married them at the age of 26, 27, 23, who are on their young prime age, who need to be serviced once in a while. So when he heard the utterances that was coming out from those keys to the monarch, when he got there, the palace now asked, what is the problem? He said, he just came to visit you. Oba Atokbe, he said. He did not vomit while he came. He quickly came back home and released his wife. Okay. Then Ezomo did all these plans. Then the Beninese were now having issues with the palace, aligning everybody, making sure that everybody does not pay homages again to the palace. That time, all villages carried bound yam, goat, cow. That's how they pay homages to the palace at that time. This was not existing again. Before this period, the Oba Ewakbe lost his beloved mother. The best friend of that Oba was the mother. He loves his mother so much. You understand? So the mother of Oba Ewakbe sent delegate from Ikoka to come and send a condolence message to Ewakbe because he was highly annoyed and very, very stubborn, irritated by what was going on in Benin. He asked them to slay those persons that came for condolence visits. One escaped, one went with a very serious injury to Ikoka. They shouted, "Ewo mana!" They went away. So when Oba Ewakbe, this is caused by a chief. This issue that Ewakbe issue that was rejected in Benin was caused by a chief. Ask your father. Okay, and the title is here existing today in Benin. Ogiamien, Amiwolera, Inmagia Yunuta, Ayosiyata, and Ayosiyata Magbai, Ununa, Ayosiyata. Hold on. Then, when you now look left and right, I won't give you all the story because I'm not here for that. He now said, look, he now took his Okbowa. And I'm like, Ekboki, your own. Ekboki is that one you see, that round boss. That's why he keep his things. We don't see leather boss that time. Susumaye, the word he used to say, final sales. They were trekking down to Ikoka. When he got there, he greeted Ikoka, wado, we yemen. Do magire ba amen. Na we need boy Ikoka. Ikoka said no way. That for him to stay here be eating with them, he has to take part in every activities taking place in Ikoka. Farming, cleaning of road, security, anything like that. Oba Of Bini. He said no, he will never do that. They asked him to go. He took his slave, returning back to Benin before the palace. He turned his back straight to that village and said, look, Kenade, Undoya Warie me, Ikoka. I will say it in English language. He said, I but so point Rudy Yemen, he went This is the cause. After saying this cause, he took your Susumaye. When I see what he did about Benin and went along to that one, they call Susumaye. He took it on a gas and your spit on it, and throw it to the bush. He said, since you reject me, you ask me to go below your standard to labor before I eat a king. Say nobody will ever be successful in this village. But for the love I have for my mother, I will exclude the women in this village. Look, this is not tell you. Ask me any millionaire from Ikoka as a man. Let him come out. Alright, the boy tanker driver. Let me know, let's forget about that. Who did that? Chief. Right? Anwa. Though he was the same father with Oba Sige. They don't fight. Now let's go back to Oba Akenzwa. You remember the disputed throne of Oba Akenzwa? Most of them don't know. Akenzwa died in 1979. Okay. When a case came out that he was not supposed to be the rightful owner of the throne, according to the story given to us by our great-grandfather, our father, said there was a man, I don't want to, which the sister was Mama UPN those days during a World War. The woman was the head of UPN in the Benin state. Is Akenzwa's from the same father. These are facts. I say things that I know that is true. Because she was having money, because normally when you born a first son to the Oba Of Bini, to the royal father, they use that thing to touch his head. If you know at that throne of the king, you know they die. He can spend 6 days there after when he had the throne, he died, no problem. But he must be crowned as a king. According to story, not confirmed, because I didn't read it in the book, I was told orally from my mother's father many years ago that there was a son born in a village far from Benin. According to them, they said our great Oba was born in the afternoon, probably in the evening, and he was anointed or crowned already as a prince. Before the news came, and it's irreversible. That is the tradition of Benin, how dynamic it is.
For watching Benin Naija TV, please help us to share and also leave your comments without insults. See you in my next video. Bye-bye for now.